Let's look at Chapter 12, Lesson 7, Extension. Number sentences in straight lines. Mark the first 2 points and draw a line. Then complete the table and find a rule to describe the points on this line. I know that 0, 0 would be at the origin. And I know that 1, 2 would be over to the right 1 and up 2. Now I'm going to connect this. I can see that in order to get 0 to 1 with the x, that I added 1. In order to get 0 to 2 with the y, that I added 2. So let's see if we can use this information to help find the next part. I know that I have 2, so I'm going to add the 1 to the 1, which would make the 2, and then add 2 to 2, which would make this a 4. Then I can plot that. I go over 2 and up 4, and I can see that my point would draw a line right to the orange line. I'm going to do the same thing for 10. Before I do that though, I'm going to find what my other coordinates would be, which I could see that if I had 3, then I would add 2 to the 4, which would be a 6. The purple connected that line, so if I had a 4, and then I would add 2 to the 6, which would be 8. If I had a 5, I would add 2 to the 8, which would be 10. If I had 6, I would add 2 to 10, which would be 12. If I had 7, I'd add 2 to 12, which would be 14. If I had 8, I would add 2 to 14, which would be 16. 9 and 18. 10 and 20. So I know that this would be 20. You can see that they are clearly doubling. 3 times 2 is 6, 4 times 2 is 8, 5 times 2 is 10, 6 times 2 is 12, 7 times 2 is 14, and so on. Now I need to think about negative 2. Negative 2, and it being doubled, I would have negative 4. So over to the left 2 and down 4 would put my dot right here. I can connect my line. And then negative 6, I could see doubling that would be negative 12. And then 1/2 and doubling a half would be 1. Now describing your rule with words or symbols, you could say that you would take the x number and you would add 1 to it, and you would take the y number and add 2 to it. You could also say that you are doubling whatever the x is in order to find the y. Make sure though that you explain your answer and that you show lots of different examples to help explain your answer like I did above.